Hello, my name is Marisol Cepeda and I'm gonna present Enron scandal. To start, I will start with the introduction. In 1985, Kennedy Lay merged the natural gas pipeline companies of Houston Natural Gas and Internord to form Enron. Enron became one of the largest sellers of natural gas in North America in 1992. Its trading of gas contracts earned up to 122 millions before interest and taxes, the second largest contributor to the company's net income. In November 1999, creation of the Enron online trading website allowed the company to better manage its contracts trading business. In attempt to achieve further growth, Enron pursued a diversification strategy. The company owned and operated a variety of assets, including gas pipelines, electricity plants, pulps, paper plants, water plants, and broadband services across the globe. Enron's rapid growth in 1990s and the large capital investments not generating significant cash flow in short term, they started using accounting loopholes to hide their debt and show more profits in their financial sheets. One of the examples that we use or that they use was they started creating partnerships structured as a special purposes entities, SPES, that could borrow from outside investors without having to consolidate it into Enron's balance sheet. This showed at the end of the year more profits than what actually they had. Another thing they also did is that they created over 3,000 partnerships starting in 1993 that really hide all the debt that they owed. One of the main two companies that they started this partnerships were with the California Public Retirement System and Joint Energy Development Investment Funds. Enron's downfall. As they started creating more partnerships, they also started adding and becoming more aggressive to the strategy on how to go ahead and keep Enron alive. Also, it didn't help that during that time, during 1990s, the United States Congress approved legislation that regulation the sale of natural gas, meaning that it gave them more freedom on how to put the price on the gas and also being able to go ahead and do a lot of businesses without a lot of regulation from them. Energy policy was changed and Washington left controls on who could produce energy and how it was sold. Jet Skilling also took aggressive approach to expand Enron by trading future and gas contracts. Enron's main scandal. So the ethical issues went unregulated. There were no really policies from the government or really anyone really asked questions since they were a great company and really big. Um, and the organizational behavior was isolated. So really no one ever spoke up or said anything about what was going on. Enron was the seventh largest US companies in 2001 when filed for bankruptcy in December 2001. The Enron investors and retirees were left with worthless stock. Enron was charged with securities fraud. The fraud pretty much was established by the appearance of debt and equity ratio on the company's books with the use of balance sheet partnerships as special purpose entities, the SPES. Finally, in 2001, Enron's complex financial statements were confusing to shareholders and analysis. In addition, its complex business model and unethical practices required that the company use accounting limitations to mispresent earnings and modify the balance sheet to indicate favorable performance. In 2001, finally, Jeff Skilling resigned. Ken and Lay became CEO once again, and everything just went downhill from there. What happened was that they started selling out their shares, insiders. No one really knew what was going on, and the company became really unstable. The stock prices began to fall, and of course, in 2001 December, Enron finally filed for bankruptcy. The share price collapsed from about $95 to under a dollar. The stock price of gas was declining and could not recover its losses. The outcome of this scandal, besides the bankruptcy of Enron, it was also that many of the executives at the company were indicated for a variety of charges. This was the first time where actually Congress and a court had charged some of the big businesses. One of the main person, or the one that was actually more famous for this case, was auditor Arthur Anderson. He was found guilty in the United States District Court of illegally destroying documents relevant to the SEA investigation, which voided him his license and he wasn't able to go ahead and audit any other companies after the business closed. One of the main and huge responses to the Enron scandal was the US legislative response. So, after the case, they figured out that they needed to go ahead and put more control on big businesses because the bankruptcy did not just affect the company itself, but it also affected the employees and the consumers that bought direct natural gas from them. So, it was a big economy not breakdown, but it did affect the economy as well. One of the main responses was the Sarbanes-Oxley Act of 2002, which pretty much just gave a list of things that the businesses had to do to be able to go ahead and comply with the SEC and also with having some control on performance control. What are they able to do and what are not able to go ahead and do. Um, One of the main things was that the CEOs were required to vouch for their financial statements of their companies. Also, the board of directors must have an audit commitment, and the members must be independent from the company, which this was really big. As you can see with the Enron case, usually everybody is within the same company and they all kind of follow the same unethical behavior if that's the case. So definitely the scandal was a big push for Congress to go ahead and make a change and be able to have more control over what the big businesses did. And for today, that's all, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.